Have you ever let someone down? Someone who believed in you, trusted you? St. Peter knew this feeling all too well. St. Peter was handpicked by Jesus to lead his church. But in the moment of greatest trial, Peter did the unthinkable. He denied even knowing Christ. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Imagine the weight of that failure. The rooster crowed, and Peter's heart shattered. He had failed. But here's the real question. Was that the end of his story? Let's look at the life of St. Peter, the first pope. He was a fisherman, a simple man, a man with calloused hands and a restless heart. But could such a man be the foundation of Christ's church? Simon Peter was not chosen for his strength nor for his wisdom. He was chosen despite his weakness. He was bold, yet fearful, passionate, yet unsteady. One moment, he walked toward Christ with faith. The next, he was drowning in doubt. This is maybe why so many can relate with St. Peter. Greatness and weakness merged inside. How many of us can say that we at least would attempt to walk to him? He swore to stand by Jesus, but when the moment came, he was asleep. And when the trial began, fear overtook him. 3 times he denied his Lord. 3 times he turned away. And yet, Christ did not turn away from him. After the resurrection, it was Peter who first saw the risen Christ. And at Pentecost, it was Peter who stood before the crowds, proclaiming the gospel with fire in his soul. From that moment, he was no longer Simon the fisherman. He was Peter the rock, the shepherd of Christ's flock. But this path was not easy. He faced prison, persecution, and exile, and yet he did not run. He left Jerusalem for the very heart of the empire, Rome. There, he preached a message that would shake the foundations of the world. But his final act of faith would come in his death, arrested, condemned, and crucified. But Peter, even in death, sought humility. He refused to die as his Lord had died. "Turn me upside down," he pleaded, "for I am not worthy to die in the same manner as my Lord." His body now rests beneath the great basilica that bears his name. A man who once feared a servant girl's questions now stands at the gates of heaven itself. Every pope since has followed in his footsteps. Every bishop, every priest, every soul seeking Christ, walking the path Peter once walked. On February 22nd, we honor the feast of the chair of St. Peter, not as a throne of power, but as a symbol of divine trust. The keys to the kingdom were placed in the hands of a man who failed, and yet, through grace, was made strong. What does this mean for us? It means that weakness does not define us, that failure is not the end, that even the most flawed among us can rise when we answer Christ's call. What will you do with the calling placed upon your life? St. Peter, pray for us.